Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So the big news is that Batman v Superman is going to get a home video release that has an R-rated version of the movie. Now they'll still be releasing the PG-13 movie they're releasing in theaters, but we need to talk about what that means. So I thought it'd be fun to do like a Batman kills video. Just all the times Batman has killed someone. Superman has killed people too. It seems like R-rated superhero movies are suddenly in vogue now because Deadpool was so successful. Not every movie is going to be Deadpool, but there's the idea that the Wolverine movie is going to be rated R because they're doing Old Man Logan, and that's probably the most hardcore Wolverine story that I've ever read. But I think the R rating for Batman v Superman over the PG-13 just implies that it's going to be really intense. What does that mean? Well, go and watch the Adam West Batman, then read Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. So when your brain explodes at the idea of an R-rated superhero film, really, I think it's just going to be a slightly more hardcore version of Dark Knight. Usually it's the Joker that you talk about killing people, but Batman's actually killed quite a few people, which is why we need to talk about his top kills. Surprise, surprise, 1980s Batman kills KG Beast. This was the same era as Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Comics are hardcore, Batman's hardcore. So he kills KG Beast after he attempted to kill President Reagan, knowing that if he were to let him be captured by authorities, he'd be able to use the justice system to escape. So Batman goes Edgar Allan Poe, walls him up in a sealed room, and just waits for him to die. Way back in the 30s and 40s, when Batman was a relatively new character, he killed a ton of gangsters in a bunch of different ways. It treated it in an offhanded way, but when you really look at it, killing someone is killing someone no matter how the comic treats it. In Batman #1 in 1940, people always talk about this kill just because it's so WTF. He hung a mentally ill patient from a rope and flew around in the Batplane till he died. He's kicked people into car grinders. He kicked a villain into another villain's sword. To be fair, a lot of these 1940 stories were war propaganda, but he killed a cart full of Japanese by throwing a weapon into its spokes. Also an example of Batman who uses guns. Maybe not in the way they were originally intended, but he's still using a gun. He's killed a whole bunch of people in traffic accidents. Frank Miller, back at it again, during All-Star Batman and Superman, has Batman incinerate a villain with a Molotov cocktail. It does not happen quickly, it takes a long time to burn to death. During Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, he leaves Ra's al Ghul to die in the train crash. The way they played it is Batman is definitely leaving Ra's al Ghul to his fate, to die in this horrible crash. You also look at the Michael Keaton Batman films. He pushes the Joker off the cathedral ledge with a giant weight tied around his ankle. Yeah, he definitely meant for him to die. He blew up the Axis Chemicals building when a bunch of people were still inside. And during Batman Returns, the sequel to that first Michael Keaton film, he kills a couple people. One with the exhaust from the Batmobile. The other was when he sticked a bomb down the strongman's pants and just leaves him to blow up. So plenty of movie kills, way more in the comics obviously, and probably the most iconic comic book Batman kills moment that I can think of. This is open to debate, but killing the Joker at the end of The Killing Joke, done in an ambiguous way as if a 13-year-old could read the book, but if you're reading the actual context of the scene, yeah, he definitely killed the Joker. You get the idea though, there are a lot of times when Batman takes down villains in a way that if you treat it as if it's happening in the real world, that villain would die horribly. So whatever this R-rated cut of the Batman v Superman film looks like, it's probably just going to treat a lot of those takedowns in more realistic ways. More broken bones, some implied kills in the past. I don't expect anyone to actually be killed in the movie. I think that they'll talk about people dying during the Kryptonian attack, but dying because of the disasters that were caused, not because Batman and Superman walked up to someone and splattered their brains all over the pavement. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about R-rated Batman v Superman? Does that get you more excited? Are you worried about that? And what is your favorite Batman kill from the comics or the movies? It could be from anywhere. But you talk to like 10 different comic book creators, and each one will have a slightly different take on what Batman and Superman do and what they don't do. Frank Miller and Alan Moore, they're just the most extreme examples, like taking those characters and characters like them, especially in the case of Alan Moore, analogs of Justice League characters, to their logical extreme. But when you really think about it, I don't think that DC would ever release a film that you could not take a family to see. So if you have small children, you'll totally be able to take them to see Batman v Superman. It's not like Deadpool where there's a ton of TNA and stuff that you definitely have to explain to an 8-year-old. But yeah, be careful if you're taking an 8-year-old to a hardcore PG-13 movie. You will still probably have to explain a lot of stuff. I think the first hard R film I ever saw was Predator on VHS, or maybe it was HBO. It was when HBO was a brand new thing, and it was the reason why when my mom caught me watching Predator on HBO, she made my dad cancel it. In related superhero news, not quite as hardcore, but just as awesome, Vixen is coming to Arrow. Be sure to watch the episode. She is going to wreck everyone. Then tomorrow on Legends of Tomorrow, they're doing a flash forward. We're going to see Connor Hawke. We're going to see a future version of Deathstroke that I think might be Jericho, maybe Grant Wilson. I mean, it depends on which son of Slade Wilson they go with. While you guys wait for that video to post tonight, you can click here for my flash video from last night. So much awesome Zoom and King Shark stuff. And you can click here for the Justice League teaser that Zack Snyder just dropped. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.